Okay, people. Well, Crystal way I can do videos. It's hard to do videos around him because he doesn't like to have his picture taken. Neither does my daughter-in-law, by the way. That's why you haven't seen any of the baby lately. Anyway, yeah, my hair's always messy. Comes with having long hair. I already brushed it today, but I'm gonna have to brush it again. Anyway, he went off with the kids for a while. Me, I'm just here, you know, doing what I'm doing. Anyway, so hope everybody had a nice, safe New Year's. Mine was eventful. Went to bed early. Well, it was early for me. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Like this morning, I didn't get to sleep at all until this morning when I took a power nap, like a 2-hour power nap. But hey, what you gonna do? Now it happens. I can stay up and still stay up during the daytime, and got a lot of things on my mind. Is what it is. Things I can't, mention. It's just having one of those days, I guess. You know. Those of you who think that I hate Trump, I don't. I just like him, but I don't hate him, and I don't put down people that actually, support him. If you support him, you support him. That's who you wanted as president. You got your wish, but some of his ideas I don't like. I appreciate the fact that, he's trying to do what he does, but a lot of the mess was still there when he was in office last time. And I'm not saying it's totally his fault, because it's not. Each president gets handed the problems of the prior president. It's always been that way. I wish he would kind of help the immigrants that actually work hard, pay taxes, and do all that stuff. I wish he would figure out a way to help them become citizens, because, they're putting to the, in the economy, but, we're all actually, unless you're full-blooded Native American, or in some places, depending on where you live, say Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, you got the Mexican population that was here before they became states. So, there's that too. But, everybody has their own opinion. You can't, this would be a dull place if everybody had the same opinion. Well, I have my opinion. You guys have your opinion. And I don't blame you. I'm not one to go and sit there, I have my own opinions, which I won't just, say on here because, hey, like I said, I believe in the freedom of religion, speech, and all that 9 yards. I also believe that, you can't push your own religion on people. Not right. You can't push your own ideas on people and expect them to believe the way you believe. Everybody has their own beliefs. I don't go around saying you need to believe in God. That's up to you. That's what's in your heart. There's a lot of people in this world besides us. And who are we to tell somebody whom they should believe in, what they should believe in, how to practice their religion, or tell them you got to give up your religion to practice Christianity or whatever the religion may be popular at the time. You know, you understand what I'm saying? You know, if Trump would understand that people, even if they are immigrants, yeah, they're breaking the law. Of course, I understand that. But it shouldn't be no heavy punishment. They only want a better life. Just like, that's all we want. And can't always blame the immigrants. And by the way, those of you who put down people on Snap, let me explain something to you. You're only getting $36 maybe a year. Not a month, but a year. Okay? When I worked, I had to pay taxes too. You know, I never complained about it. Because, you know, hey, I understand. People may not be able to handle, you know, being able to pay rent. They, you know, having to make a choice between rent and bills or rent and food. You know, yeah, they could always go to the Goodwill and get clothes. Okay, they can always go to the dollar stores and get, you know, food that way. But you can't buy everything at the dollar store food-wise. Not everything's there. Essentials are there. But what I'm saying is the price is way too much. And I'm not blaming the president for that either, by the way. Because, you know, I can't blame him because I don't know if it's him or not. I'm not saying it's because of him, and I'm not saying it's not because of him. I'm just saying, you know, my opinion is this, you know, he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. That man was a sicko. Why hang around with somebody, and you know he had to know what that man was doing, because he was there a lot of those parties. I don't know if he partook in what Jeffrey Epstein did, but, you know, a duck's a duck, if it looks like a duck, if you know what I mean. You know, I hope not. You know, I hope he didn't put those minors through anything like that. You know, I hope the rumors of him, you know, attacking somebody physically, I won't say what physically, but you get the idea. Same thing that Jeffrey Epstein did. Okay, we'll just put it that way. I'm not saying that, you know, he was a part of that, but he had to know what was going on. I mean, come on. It came out that the former Prince Andrew did it. And I feel bad for his daughters because it's just, you know, came out. And their family, you know, got their own issues they got to deal with. And I just, you know, we have to live each day. There's a saying that says, united we stand, divided we fall. If we keep being divided on this, stop putting down all these Democrats, because it's not all their fault either. You've got the Senate and you've got the House of Representatives that are in charge of that Congress. So you have to put the blame on the Congress as well as if Trump signs something that's stupid. Like the thing of taking junk food off the snaps. Well, let me explain something to those who believe that's a fair thing. Okay, there's people out there that are the opposite of diabetes, that guess what? They've got to have that sugar because they don't produce it. My husband's like that. Okay, now we have to think of another way, because where we're at, they either are going to do it or they've already done it. I have to look that up to see if our state's part of it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's ridiculous, you know. For somebody who can't produce sugar in their chemistry in their body, that could end up killing them in the long run if they don't keep up with sugar intake. So, you know, we'll have to figure out how to, you know, do this if the state is a part of it, you know. But I'm not ranting, I'm just trying to state things, because a lot of people on my Facebook and on my threads and stuff, they all think that, you know, I'm not for Christianity and I'm not for the Trump, and, you know, I have my own opinion and I have a right to. I wouldn't, you know, I didn't vote for him, I'm sorry. And it's not just because of what I believe he did, you know, it's also his attitude towards people. When his own mother came to this country from another country, some say Scotland, and some say just United Kingdom. That's where his mom's from, you know. And his first wife, Ukraine. His third wife, the one that's our first lady now, she's from Slovenia. Okay, I don't know how she got, if she got her citizenship before or after she married him, but the reason why she got the citizenship because he paid for her to have it. Because you got to pay too, not just take the test. That doesn't mean she's, you know, an idiot, because she's not. You know, and I don't know what she did in her past. I can only, rumors have it, she was a escort, hooker, whatever you want to call them. That's all I can, you know, say. I can't prove that, and I'm not going to say she was, because I don't know her personally. And I didn't know her prior to, you know, them going in the office first time. Anyway, just want to let you guys know, if you are a supporter of Trump, I don't mind. That's up to you, okay? I will not put you down. I will not call you a traitor. I will not call you any other name. You support who you support, okay? I seriously think we need a woman in office. Somebody to keep us from going to war. Because, you know, we never know. And you got to remember, a president can do that. So, you know, just let's hope this year is a better year for everybody. And I wish all you a good year. You know, whether you like me or not, you know, that's up to you. This channel isn't, you know, for, you know, me to get people to like me. You know, I'm just sharing my daily needs, or my daily, well, I'm not doing it daily, because I can't do it daily, because, you know, anyway, you know, if you like listening to me babble like I did, you know, and many of you will not agree with what I said, and that's fine, you know, hey, that's good for you to have, you know, your own ideas and opinions. But if you like the content, you know where the subscribe button is, right? That's where, I don't know. And then if you like me talking, which I don't know how you can understand because I don't have no teeth. And yes, I'm ashamed of it, but what can I do? You know, I gotta wait till I have some kind of medical to go to a dentist and see if I can get, you know, false teeth or something. But, you know, I mean, I have some, but most of them are broke. But that's my own foolishness back when I was younger. It's because of what I was doing back when I was younger. And I'll go into that another day. You know, but everyone just stay safe and, you know, don't let, you know, people tell you you're wrong. Because everybody has the right to feel the way they do. You know. So, like I said, if you like, you know, what I talk about or want to put your opinion in, go ahead. I leave the comments open. I've gotten bad comments and I've gotten good comments. And for those of you who, you know, keep saying, you know, stuff that sounds nice, I am married. I've been with the same man for 30-something years, 36 now. And I've had 4 kids. I've got 4 grandkids. I'm 64 years old. So, you know, there's that. Anyway, see you guys later. Have a good day or whatever, and I'll try to get back to you soon. Alright, bye.